about the Microsoft Exchange hack previously told the Associated Press that China, quote, check this out, firmly opposes and combats cyber attacks and cyber theft in all forms. What a bunch of bullshit. Really? How many quotes have we done this last week or the week before on the stuff that China says? And are we supposed to take this seriously? Talk about a bold-faced lie. Gaslighting as if, oh yeah, we don't like that. We don't do that as China. We're upstanding people. Our government doesn't do this. Are you crazy? Welcome to the Bald Brad Show. Our story here is dealing with Senator Ted Cruz of Texas questioning a panel of cybersecurity intel officials from the Biden administration as to why China has not been sanctioned on their cybersecurity attacks on the U.S. And none of them had an answer at all. And by no answer, I mean literally did not say anything, pure silence. This comes from Emma Colton of Fox News, and she titles it, Ted Cruz's question about China's sanctions silences Biden intel officials during testimony. The article starts off here saying Senator Ted Cruz was met with silence during a congressional hearing when he grilled a panel of cybersecurity officials on why China was not sanctioned after the attack on Microsoft and other U.S. companies. Here's what that exchange looked like.
The idea that malevolent actors would go after infrastructure like pipelines, that is a threat we've been aware of for some time.
That's correct, Senator.
China has repeatedly used ransomware and cyber attacks to harm America. Not only has it attacked pipelines in an effort to cause physical damage, but just this year, hackers affiliated with the Chinese government attacked tens of thousands of computers across tens of thousands of organizations, including a significant number of small businesses, towns, cities, and local governments. Once again, unfortunately, the Biden administration responded to extreme threats with extreme weakness. The Biden administration has not imposed any sanctions on China. Instead, the administration announced that it is dropping criminal cases against 5 Chinese scientists who, with the help of consular officials, hid their affiliations with China's military in order to infiltrate our nation. Mr. Downing, why is this administration refusing to prosecute Chinese scientists who lied about their ties to the Chinese military in order to come to this country and gain access to information?
Senator, thank you for the question. I would have to say that from my position in the criminal division, I am not responsible for those decisions. However, it is something that I'd be happy to take back and get you an answer for.
And let me ask anyone on the panel, do you have an answer as to why the administration has not sanctioned China for repeated cyber attacks over and over and over again against the United States? Well, I think that's a question that administration should answer.
And as you could see, none of them had an answer here. They don't have a clue what's going on. They don't know if Biden is expected to put sanctions on China, and I don't think he will. But this is a great question for the Biden administration, and one that I hope a journalist asks here, because if they don't do anything, then it just incentivizes another threat taking place here, whether that's from China or Russia. And Ted Cruz actually talked a little bit about that. He said, quote, "And showing weakness to China and weakness to Russia only invites more aggression and more cyber attacks attacking our nation." And he's absolutely right. You're only going to incentivize it if you don't do anything, if you don't retaliate or at least put sanctions on China for doing this. And they've been doing this for decades, folks. This is not like the only time they've done this. It keeps happening, and we need to be harsher on China. And Biden administration's not going to be harsh on them. Biden just looks weak as a human being. He does not look like the epitome of what an American president should look like, nor does he talk like one, nor does he walk like one. Nothing that he does gives you the idea of, yeah, that guy represents America here. Now, what was this Microsoft attack that took place? This also comes from Fox News. It is written by Brooke Singman, and she titles it, U.S. blames Microsoft Exchange hack on affiliates of Chinese government. She starts off here saying the Biden administration on Monday blamed China for the hack on Microsoft Exchange email server that compromised tens of thousands of computers around the world earlier this year. The administration made the announcement with a group of allies and partners, including the EU, European Union, the UK, United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and NATO. Now, finally, NATO actually gathered together and worked together on this in conjunction with our allies to go after China, at least condemn them for their cybersecurity attacks. A Biden administration official said this is the first time NATO has condemned China's cyber activities. Basically, oh, you did a bad thing. You a bad country. Bad, bad, bad. Like that's going to do anything. As if China's going to stop doing it. You have to put sanctions on them. You have to retaliate in some way, shape, or form. Or like Ted Cruz said, and as I'm saying, as anybody would imagine, you're going to just incentivize this type of behavior. Quote, no one action can change China's behavior in cyberspace, and neither can just one country acting on its own. A senior administration official said, quote, our allies and partners are a tremendous source of strength and unique American advantage, and our collective approach to cyber threat information sharing and defense. And they're right in saying that. I mean, it is more beneficial, it is more advantageous for a group of countries to band together to go against one, and that's for a lot of arguments. But you could still do a lot by the United States pushing sanctions upon China there. The Microsoft Exchange hack was first identified in January and was attributed to Chinese cyber spies by private sector groups. As an administration official said the government's attribution to hackers affiliated with China's Ministry of State Security took until now in part because of the discovery of the ransomware and for-profit hacking operations, and because the administration wanted to pair the announcement with guidance for businesses about tactics that the Chinese have been using. So they held off on this information. They didn't just push it out there. They held off on it because they wanted to pair it with something else. And you know what? It makes you wonder why they waited so long, because as if we need to pair this information together, they're delaying the inevitable. They want to sit there and not pretend like this is that massive of a problem, because if it was, they would be harsher on China, folks. They would go after them for this. Something needs to happen here because this is an ongoing issue. Well, a Chinese foreign ministry spokesperson about the Microsoft Exchange hack previously told the Associated Press that China, quote, check this out, firmly opposes and combats cyber attacks and cyber theft in all forms. What a bunch of bullshit. Really? How many quotes have we done this last week or the week before on the stuff that China says? And are we supposed to take this seriously? I mean, talk about a bold-faced lie. I mean, gaslighting as if, oh yeah, we don't like that. We don't do that as China. We're upstanding people. Our government doesn't do this. Are you crazy? It's just the amount of stuff these guys will lie to your face about is unbelievable. Unbelievable. It goes on to say, and caution that attribution of cyber attacks should be based on evidence and not groundless accusations. That's coming from China as well. Groundless accusations, similar to the COVID-19, the Wuhan lab leak, all this stuff. You know, it's just, this isn't happening. These aren't the droids you're looking for. All these things. It's unbelievable what China will push here. In the same way, they don't think, they're trying to make it seem like the whole Uyghur thing isn't happening there. The camps, the re-education camps that are taking place. That's not happening either, even though we have video proof. But there's no evidence, guys. There's never evidence of China committing any sort of crimes, any sort of cyber attacks, any crimes whatsoever. They're just holier than thou. They're greater than any country out there, folks. They don't commit any crimes. Again, they're just above the rest of us. They're levitating above the rest of us. But the Biden administration and allied nations also disclosed a broad range of other cyber threats from Beijing, including ransomware attacks from government-affiliated hackers that have targeted companies with demands for millions of dollars. An official said the PRC's Ministry of State Security uses criminal contract hackers to conduct unsanctioned cyber operation globally, including for their own personal profit. The official said activities range from criminal activities like cyber-enabled extortion to cryptojacking and threat from victims around the world for financial gain. So this is happening all the time. It's not like it's something that is just out of the blue, happens every once in a while. This has been ongoing, and Ted Cruz is finally pressing the issue here, which should be done not just by our senators and congressmen and women, but it should be done by the journalists. Where is all the journalisming going on? Even if that's not a word, I don't know if it is or isn't, but where is all the investigative journalism going on? Where are the questions asking Jen Psaki, even though she'll probably give us the runaround? She'll have to circle back on it because she doesn't have a clue why sanctions aren't being imposed on China for this. She's going to sit there and BS us. Where's Joe Biden fumbling through his words on this from having to answer a question about China, or any question for that matter, folks? He gets asked questions like, oh, Mr. President, what kind of ice cream did you get? Chocolate chip ice cream. Whoa! Wow! Can you believe it? This is what's going on in our day. We're being gaslit not only by China, but our own administration here that doesn't want to answer hard questions, and his own intel officials don't know what the hell's going on. So if they don't know what's going on, it's kind of a precursor that Joe Biden doesn't have a clue either. They didn't even attempt to give a BS answer, folks, which I kind of respect there for not trying to lie to us. When they're all met with silence, it wasn't like it was directed towards one guy. The entire panel had no clue. They had no clue why China wasn't being sanctioned for what they're doing, because they know this has been going on for a while. They're in it. They're in what's happening. They're in the loop of what China is doing, and they don't have a clue. The president doesn't have a clue. The vice president doesn't have a clue. DOJ doesn't have a clue. Nobody has a clue. The FBI doesn't. Who the hell knows what's going on with our country right now and those that are cyber attacking us? I'm waiting for an answer. If any of you find something, let me know here so I can report on it, because I want to know what's going on with all this. I want our country to be harsher on China, because China is getting away with a lot of crap, folks, and we've listed it. Changing their currency exchange rates. You got the Uyghur issue going on with the re-education camps. You got the COVID-19 stuff. You got the trade stuff that's going on. You have the island that's happening out there in the China Sea. You have all this stuff that's going on military-wise and the threats that are taking place, cybersecurity, and we're just not supposed to put any sanctions on them for any of this stuff. We're just supposed to kind of look past it, like, oh, I don't see what's happening. At some point here, this has to come to a head. At some point, our allies have to group together to go against this country that is one of our biggest threats other than China here and Iran. Well, folks, there you have it. We have cybersecurity intel not able to answer the questions from Senator Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz knows what's going on, and he's asking the good questions that the Democrats won't, the leftists won't, some Republicans won't, and our mass media won't as well. We'll see if we can get an answer from the Biden administration. We probably won't, because Joe Biden's always sleeping, having a little sippy of his milk, and can't get out of bed to answer the hard questions that journalists are either asking or Senator Ted Cruz. With that being said, like and subscribe to our video and our channel here for more news every single day here, sometimes starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, share this with your friends and family on social media. Check out our Patreon page and support the show down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. With that being said, folks, I will see you later here on The Bald Brad Show.